Liverpool fans, this is huge. Salah's future in doubt, a £100 million Villa star targeted, and a record-breaking bid incoming. Before we dive in, smash that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss a Liverpool update. Liverpool to take eye-watering £113 million hit on Mo Salah sale as Saudi Pro League ready, formal offer. Exclusive team talk sources can reveal that the Saudi Pro League is intensifying its pursuit of Mohamed Salah, with plans well underway to bring the Liverpool icon to the Middle East, though it has been made clear there is a limit to any deal, and with the star's absolutely scary Anfield demise leaving a former Red Star staggered. Salah will have just a year remaining on his Liverpool deal this summer, which was agreed in April of last year and secured the Egyptian a contract which has proved the largest in the club's history, netting the player a package worth £400,000 a week. However, the 33-year-old's form has taken a dramatic tumble this season, and with the star on a 10-game Premier League drought without a goal, speculation over a move away has gathered serious pace in recent weeks. To that end, we reported last month that Salah was deep in discussions over a move to Saudi Arabia at the end of the current campaign, in a move that would give the star a prominent ambassadorial role, as well as the chance to own a stake in one of their illustrious Pro League clubs. Now, the prospects of that move is starting to gather real pace, though we can reveal the move will come with limits with regards the kind of transfer fee Liverpool will receive. And Salah, the subject of a titanic £150 million or €175 million or $195 million from Al Ittihad in 2023, is now only expected to command a fraction of that fee. To that end, we can reveal that Pro League is prepared to reimburse Liverpool the initial sum they paid for Salah, £36.9 million or €42 million or $49 million from Roma back in 2017. And they are unlikely go beyond that figure, despite the player's immense stature. Liverpool's decision last summer to hand Salah a record-breaking contract protected FSG from losing their prized asset for nothing. Instead, they opted for security, and while there are no regrets at the hefty £20.8 million a year salary agreed, a parting of ways and a breaking of that commitment could soon now be agreed. Salah's decline leaves former Liverpool man staggered. Indeed, the Egyptian's form this season has been way below his best, and there is a growing sense that cashing in this summer would be a decision that suits all parties. A mere 7 goals in 29 appearances so far this season means the player is firmly on course to record his lowest ever seasonal tally for the Reds. That currently stands at the 23 goals he scored in 48 matches in the 2019-20 campaign. At one point, Salah was banished from the squad following a clash with manager Arne Slot, only to return to the first-team fold with his form dipping as he approaches his 34th birthday. Team Talk understands that the Saudi Pro League, which has long coveted Salah as the greatest Muslim footballer, is determined to make him a cornerstone of their ambitious future. The league is ready to offer Salah a deal that would make him one of the highest-paid footballers globally and comparable to Cristiano Ronaldo, with the added incentive of removing his substantial wages from Liverpool's accounts, a crucial element in negotiations. However, the financial structure of the deal is clear. The Pro League will not sanction a massive transfer fee, given the scale of the salary package on offer. Liverpool, for their part, are open to such terms, but formal talks between the two parties have yet to commence. In the meantime, Salah's incredible decline this season has drawn a stunned response from former Anfield hero Steve Nicol, who is certain he has never before witnessed such an intense drop-off from such a high-caliber star. "I know that we're employed here because we played and we've seen almost everything. I've never seen this. I've never seen this," Nicol responded on ESPN when asked about the 33-year-old's decline. "How somebody can go from the top of the mountain and just disappear so quickly is absolutely scary. I've never seen it before, ever. I've no idea. All of the above could be true, so lack of confidence and an irreversible decline. It's hard to argue that those aren't two of the problems. I mean, seriously, go figure. I don't think he could answer it. If you actually spoke to Mo Salah himself and asked him, he wouldn't be able to tell you, right? I bet he wouldn't." Liverpool latest. Michael Olise transfer stance. Mamardashvili exit route. Meanwhile, Liverpool, Manchester City, and Paris Saint-Germain have all made recent checks on Michael Olise's situation at Bayern Munich. Team Talk can exclusively confirm, but he has an alternative next destination in mind. Elsewhere, Liverpool have been urged to break the bank to sign a world-class PSG superstar as a replacement for Salah, and with a controversial broadcaster revealing the surprise move he has heard the Egyptian superstar will now be making this summer. The Reds have once again been linked with a move for a £100 million rated Premier League playmaker, though we can explain why Anfield's priorities will likely focus elsewhere this summer. And finally, after our exclusive report last week stated that Mamardashvili is considering handing in a transfer request to leave Anfield, reports in Spain have now suggested a familiar club is hoping to spring his signing at season's end. In another news, Liverpool stung after Michael Olise inquiry as superstar's true Bayern Munich stance revealed. Exclusive Liverpool, Manchester City, and Paris Saint-Germain have all made recent checks on Michael Olise's situation at Bayern Munich. Team Talk can exclusively confirm, but he has an alternative next destination in mind. As we revealed at the start of February, there has been no change in the winger's circumstances. Bayern have zero interest in sanctioning a departure, and the player himself is not agitating for a move. Olise has been a revelation since his high-profile switch from Crystal Palace to the Allianz Arena in the summer of 2024, establishing himself as one of Europe's most dynamic attackers. This season alone, the 24-year-old France international has racked up an eye-watering 20 assists and 13 goals across all competitions, terrorizing defenses with his pace, trickery, and end product. We have previously confirmed that Liverpool, who are actively scouting long-term successors to Mohamed Salah, view Olise as a near-perfect fit for their system. But the Reds are under no illusions about his availability, despite lodging fresh inquiries in recent weeks. Sources tell Team Talk that Manchester City, who hold huge admiration for the versatile forward and big-spending PSG, have also sounded out the situation. Yet all three clubs were swiftly rebuffed, with one source describing any potential deal as a non-starter given Olise's contentment in Bavaria. However, he does dream of heading to one destination in particular in the future, and it's not good news for his Premier League suitors. Olise eyeing future La Liga challenge. Team Talk understands that while Olise is settled at Bayern for now, he harbors a long-term ambition to test himself in La Liga, and both Real Madrid and Barcelona are keeping tabs on his progress. Olise is contracted with Bayern until 2029, which puts the German giants in a strong position, and it would take a mammoth fee to lure him away in the next few years. For the time being, the Reading Academy product remains fully committed to Vincent Kompany's project in Munich, where he has become a key cog in their pursuit of domestic and European silverware. Michael is not reserved, he is very communicative, and he has very good relationships in the dressing room. He's an important part of this group, Bayern boss Kompany said of Olise last month. Olise also looks set to play a leading role for France at this year's World Cup, something he will be focused on this summer rather than any transfer speculation. Liverpool, for their part, will almost certainly have to look elsewhere for a Salah successor, with RB Leipzig winger Jan Diomande also high on their shortlist. Latest Liverpool news: Morgan Rogers, Chase, Konate update. Meanwhile, Liverpool's interest in Aston Villa playmaker Morgan Rogers has been confirmed, though luring him away from the Midlands side will prove difficult. It would take over £100 million for the Reds to sign Rogers, and with other attacking midfielders Florian Wirtz and Dominik Szoboszlai in their ranks, they face a conundrum. In other news, Liverpool are still pushing to tie Ibrahima Konate down to a contract extension, with his current deal expiring at the season's end, and they may have received a big boost. Reports from Spain suggest that longtime suitors Real Madrid are now not convinced by a move for the centre-back, suggesting they'll look elsewhere for defensive reinforcements, with a superb Tottenham star a potential alternative. In another news, Liverpool interest in £100 million Aston Villa star confirmed as journalist rates Slot chances of huge transfer coup. Long-standing Liverpool interest in Morgan Rogers has been confirmed by a second source, though Team Talk can explain why a move is highly unlikely, as well as the powerful European giant who are also ready to battle multiple other Premier League suitors for the Aston Villa star's £100 million plus signature. The 23-year-old playmaker has established himself as one of the leading playmakers in the Premier League, taking his game to the next level since joining Aston Villa in a bargain £8 million in January 2024. Just over 2 years later, Rogers is now a regular for club and country and looks a shoo-in to claim a place in Thomas Tuchel's squad for the 2026 World Cup in North America. With 10 goals and 7 assists to his name so far this season, Rogers has established himself as one of the Premier League's most creative and versatile playmakers, with his ability to drift across the front line and find pockets of space making him a nightmare for opposing sides. Now, after Team Talk revealed last week that multi-club interest in Rogers is starting to gather serious pace ahead of the summer window, one of the most trusted reporters on all things Liverpool, David Lynch, has confirmed the Reds do hold a concrete interest in the £100 million rated playmaker this summer, though has questioned just how likely a move is. In terms of some of the names you're seeing, I'm sure there are players they like, Lynch began on Anfield Index. The Morgan Rogers one is always interesting to me because he definitely is someone who they've watched and have liked down the years. But you've also got to say they've got Florian Wirtz in the number 10. Dominic Szoboszlai can play there. Rogers can play off the left, but he's not a natural winger, and I would rather see them go for an out-and-out winger profile, really. Indeed, Lynch's comments tally exactly with what our correspondent Graham Bailey revealed on February 17th. That Liverpool do hold a long-standing interest in the player, but their chances of a summer move would appear unlikely with the Reds, instead prioritizing other areas of the side, and in particular, a new out-and-out winger. Liverpool plan to sign a new winger as clubs queue up for Rogers. Indeed, we understand that one of Liverpool's primary objectives this summer will be to sign a new winger, with Yan Diomande very much a player of interest to the Reds and with Mo Salah now entering in the process of what is expected to be his final months at Anfield. With regards the Egyptian superstar, Salah is now in a long goodbye at Anfield, and his exit is described by a top source as increasingly likely this summer, turning attention to Rogers, and the common belief is that Villa will face a strong test to retain the services of their £100 million rated star this summer, particularly if Unai Emery's side miss out on Champions League qualification. To that end, Arsenal, Chelsea and Manchester United all hold Rogers in high regard and continue to monitor the situation closely, sources confirm. And the attention is not limited to England. We can reveal that Paris Saint-Germain have been doing increasing work on Rogers, with sources indicating the French champions were hugely impressed by his performances during last season's Champions League clashes. PSG have maintained a watching brief ever since and are expected to remain in the conversation should the landscape shift. Tottenham Hotspur, too, also have a long-standing interest and are understood to be dreaming of a big-money raid this summer, though, for now, Spurs have bigger and more immediate concerns to think about, like relegation, before they start planning for next season. Recent Liverpool signing wants to leave. Villa chase free agent Spain defender elsewhere at Anfield. Liverpool have been urged to break the bank to sign a world-class PSG superstar as a replacement for Salah, and with a controversial broadcaster revealing the surprise move he has heard the Egyptian superstar will now be making this summer. If you missed the big news last week, we exclusively revealed that one of Liverpool's big summer signings is now seriously considering requesting a loan exit after growing increasingly frustrated with the role he's been given. In more exclusive news, this time that emerged from our sources on Monday, Team Talk can reveal that the Reds are intensifying their assessment over a possible summer reunion for a star they have a clause to re-sign at £52.2 million, while the Reds also determined to seal a crucial second deal. Down at Villa, sources can exclusively reveal that Villa are one of 3 Premier League sides taking a close look at a classy Celta Vigo defender who will become a free agent this summer. In another news, Bruno Fernandes attempts to sign £140 million PSG star for Man United revealed as Liverpool plot record-breaking bid. Bruno Fernandes tried to sign Joao Neves for Manchester United prior to his Paris Saint-Germain transfer, it has been revealed, while Liverpool are reportedly looking to succeed where their rivals failed. Neves is a product of the famed Benfica Academy, having gained promotion to their first team in January 2023. The central midfielder scored 4 times in 75 appearances for Benfica before being snapped up by PSG in August 2024. The French Giants paid £60 million for Neves, and he has gone on to register 13 goals in 83 matches for the club. The deal has proven to be a masterstroke, as Neves has shown as either a midfielder or right-back under Luis Enrique. He played 59 times last season, as PSG won their first ever Champions League crown as part of a stunning quadruple. In an interview with Portuguese outlet Canal 11, Neves' compatriot and PSG teammate Vitinha admitted both he and Fernandes 100% tried to convince Neves to sign for their respective clubs. However, Fernandes and Man United missed out, with Vitinha getting his way. The Red Devils had beaten rivals Manchester City in the FA Cup final earlier that summer, but the fact they only managed an 8th-placed Premier League finish under then-manager Erik ten Hag will not have helped their pursuit of Neves. The Portuguese's decision was the right one, as while he has been winning major trophies at PSG, United are only just enjoying success after replacing Ruben Amorim with interim boss Michael Carrick. Neves could still arrive in the Premier League, but not with United. A report claimed on Friday that Liverpool are planning a mega-money move for Neves, who has been described as PSG's crown jewel. Joao Neves picking up major interest. Liverpool could launch another record-breaking bid, this time for Neves. The report added that it could take a mind-blowing offer worth €150–160 million, or up to £140 million or $189 million, to prize him away from PSG. A transfer at that price would see the Reds obliterate the British transfer record yet again. They did so twice last summer, first on Florian Wirtz and then again on Alexander Isak. Liverpool are not the only elite club to have been linked with a blockbuster swoop for the 21-year-old. It emerged in January that Chelsea have identified him as a potential replacement for Real Madrid target Enzo Fernandez. Madrid themselves have been credited with interest in Neves too, with scouts supposedly having recommended him to club president Florentino Perez. Man United news. Romano names 5th departing star, Fernandes future update. Meanwhile, Fabrizio Romano has revealed the 5th United star expected to leave this summer, with a potential £313 million exodus on the cards. Sources have revealed to us that Fernandes is ready to sit down with United officials and hold crunch talks over his future. Plus, Casemiro has reportedly chosen his replacement in United's midfield. In another news, Liverpool interest in £100 million Aston Villa star confirmed as journalist rates Slot chances of huge transfer coup. A recent Liverpool signing who we can confirm is considering handing in a transfer request, now has a familiar club hoping to spring his signing at season's end, according to a report. The results are mixed for Liverpool's most recent crop of summer signings so far, with some struggling, some thriving, and others barely getting a kick. Falling into that latter category are Georgi Mamardashvili, Jeremy Frimpong, and Alexander Isak. But while Frimpong and Isak's lack of action is due to injuries, Mamardashvili's issue is a simple case of 2 into 1 does not go. Liverpool paid £29.9 million to bring the giant Georgian goalkeeper to Anfield. He's viewed as Liverpool's long-term successor to Alisson Becker, but the legendary Brazilian is still at the peak of his powers. As such, Mamardashvili is facing up to the prospect of a second season warming the bench next year. It's a difficult situation for the 25-year-old who is entering his prime years as a goalkeeper, was a guaranteed starter at Valencia, and is widely regarded as being among the world's top stoppers. Our insider Graham Bailey broke news on February 26th of Mamardashvili growing increasingly frustrated at his lack of opportunities. The fact he was surprisingly overlooked for selection in the FA Cup clash with Brighton, a competition Liverpool usually rotate heavily in, hasn't helped matters. Sources explained Mamardashvili is seriously considering handing in a transfer request and could push to spend the 2026-27 season away on loan. That's not the ideal scenario for Liverpool given Kawimin Kelleher was sold to Brentford last summer. Furthermore, Vitezslas Jaros, who had been excelling on loan at Ajax, has suffered a serious knee injury and might not be fit for the early stages of next season. And according to the latest out of Spain, Mamardashvili has a familiar club in the form of Old Boys Valencia chasing his signature for the 26-27 campaign. After describing his 934 minutes of action in a Liverpool shirt as abysmal, the report declared his role at Anfield to be negligible. Mamardashvili's patience has reportedly run out, and Valencia are closely monitoring his situation. At this point, you might be wondering why Valencia would re-sign the keeper if they've already landed a replacement. However, when signing their successor to Mamardashvili last summer, Valencia moved for Athletic Bilbao's Julen Aguirrezabala, who only arrived on loan. His deal contains an option to buy worth around €12 million, but if it's not taken up, Valencia will need a new starting stopper next year, and in Mamardashvili, they'd be bringing one of the world's best back home for one more season at least. Latest Liverpool news: Joao Neves, Morgan Rogers. In other news, Bruno Fernandes tried to sign Joao Neves for Manchester United prior to his PSG transfer, it has been revealed, while Liverpool are reportedly looking to succeed where their rivals failed. Elsewhere, long-standing Liverpool interest in Morgan Rogers has been confirmed by a second source, though team talk can explain why a move is highly unlikely, as well as the powerful European giant who are also ready to battle multiple other Premier League suitors for the Aston Villa star's £100 million plus signature. What do you think? Should Liverpool cash in on Salah or build around him? Drop your thoughts in the comments, like the video, and subscribe for more breaking transfer news.